When Captain David Kane first spotted the human freighter Wanderer, all that could be heard in the salvage bay was the steady hum of life support systems. A child, though not quite human, was curled up behind a stack of discarded plasma conduits, barely visible in the shadows. Her eyes were larger than any human eyes and were the color of deep ocean water, and her skin had a faint bluish tint that shimmered in the harsh work lights. Her small hands ended in fingers, just a touch too long to be entirely terrestrial, and delicate ridges ran along her temples. She couldn't have been more than 7 or 8 in human years, wearing tattered clothes that had once been fine fabric. David lowered himself to the ground and slowly extended a hand, saying softly, "Easy there, little one. I won't hurt you," I said. The girl, who was clearly a child despite her alien features, pushed herself further into the shadows. Like an animal trapped in a tight spot, her panicked breathing was rapid. He went on, barely raising his voice above a whisper. "My name is David. Who are you by name?" The smallest voice he had ever heard said, "Lisa." He could not recognize the accent. Musical, but afraid, scared. "Don't send me back to the station, please, please." David's heart clenched. During a routine salvage operation at the defunct Kepler station deep in neutral space, he had discovered her. The station had been evacuated weeks ago when the Zahirian-Terran conflict had escalated, leaving behind only scrap metal and forgotten cargo. He had no idea that he would come across a child. David made a promise. "I won't send you anywhere you don't want to go." "However, I must know where your parents and family are." Tears ran down Lisa's deep blue eyes. "I lost them. They claimed that I wasn't when the evacuation ships arrived. They said I wasn't one of them anymore. Because I was born in human space, the other Zapirians referred to me as a mini alien girl." David thought that all the pieces fit together. Lisa was a mix of Zaharian and other elements. In Zapirian society, where there was a strict caste system, such mixing was not only frowned upon, but also regarded as an abomination. Her own people would have turned their backs and refused to be taken by the evacuation ships. David said this as he sat cross-legged on the icy deck plates. "Their loss is my gain. Someone with sharp eyes could help the Wanderer locate salvage. Are you inclined to apply for the position?" Lisa's expression showed something other than terror for the first time. Her features were tinged with interest. "You want me to remain despite my differences?" "Different?" David chuckled. "Kid, I've been traveling the galaxy for 15 years, and different is just another word for interesting. Besides, humans don't judge people by what they look like, we judge them by what they do." Over the following weeks, as the Wanderer continued its salvage runs through the contested systems, Lisa slowly came out of her shell. She was brilliant. She had the best qualities of both species because of her hybrid nature. She possessed an intuitive understanding of technology that astonished even David's seasoned crew, and she possessed Zephyrian pattern recognition abilities that enabled her to identify valuable salvage from inaccessible distances. However, the Wanderer spirit prevailed over the rough salvagers and traders more than her skills. She had survived rejection and abandonment that would have broken many adults, but she still had the wonder of a child about the universe. "Captain," she said one evening, as they sat in the observation lounge watching stars streak past at FTL speeds, "why did you assist me? I was raised by Zafirians who believed that humans were violent and self-centered." David looked down at her, this remarkable little girl who had already survived more hardships than most beings would face in a lifetime. She had gradually overcome her fear of physical contact over the past month and was curled up next to him on the couch. "We judge a society by how it treats its most vulnerable members," he explained to her. "You were abandoned by the Zephyrians because you were different and didn't fit their strict definition of what was acceptable. But humans, we believe that diversity makes us stronger. Is that why your ship has so many different types of people? David smiled. Indeed, his crew was diverse. Humans from a dozen worlds, a reformed pirate, an ex-corporate executive seeking redemption, and now Lisa. Because of precisely this, each individual brings something distinctive to the table. We are already better salvagers because of you. And more than that, you've reminded us what we're fighting for. What's that? The right of every person to belong in some way. The right of a young girl to be loved and protected regardless of her appearance or background. While Lisa thought over his words, she remained silent for some time. She then moved closer and consented to being held for the first time since he had discovered her. David felt her finally completely relax as he wrapped his arms around her petite body. "David," she whispered. "Yes, I am grateful that you are my family." David held this extraordinary child who had been rejected by her own species but was accepted by humanity as the stars continued their ancient dance outside the viewpoint. He demonstrated what distinguishes humans from other ancient, rigid civilizations in a galaxy: the capacity to offer love when others offered rejection, and to see potential where others only saw problems. The universe was vast and often cruel, but in the observation lounge of a small salvage ship, two unlikely souls had found exactly what they needed in each other: a home. David responded with a whisper, "Always, Lisa, always."